MDL, which is short for Material Definition Language, is an open source material description standard originally developed by Nvidia. MDL provides the freedom to share physically accurate materials and lights between many of the industry-leading 3D content packages. Unlike conventional shading languages, which must individually define materials for each separate rendering engine, MDL materials only specify a set of high-level attributes, where individual renderers are free to implement more or less of the available MDL functionality, depending on their capabilities. Even a simple OpenGL-based renderer can still produce consistent, accurate results within its limitations, providing very similar physical accuracy in simulation to renderers that support the full range of MDL functionality, such as Iray. So we are pleased to announce the launching of our new service that allows you to discover, create, and share thousands of professional quality performance materials in the open source MDL format, and all from directly inside your browser. We would like to introduce you to Medulr. With Medulr, you can explore the thousands of high-quality materials available from the constantly expanding community library, which you can download for free and with unlimited use in any of your 3D projects. Or you can use Medulr's powerful graph editing tools to either modify existing library materials or create your own custom materials from scratch. Clicking on the Browse More button, we start searching through the thousands of available materials. We can also click on any material view to open up a graphic display of the functions, connectors, and attributes used to create that material. Medulr also features a powerful search function that allows you to quickly drill down to the particular categories of materials that you're searching for. Here we start by searching for all the available brick materials and note that we have 32 different types to choose from. Then carpet. Tile, wood, and metal. So here we can see we have a list of 159 different metal materials to choose from. As we scroll down through this large list of different finishes, we select one of the metal brush disc mosaic materials and open up the Graph Edit window to display the available control attributes. This definition is a V material that has been created by Nvidia, which we can tell by the display of the single purple headed root node. In the right hand panel, we can see the list of material attributes for the selected node that can be edited and saved as a separate version of this library material. We start by editing the disk color attribute, changing the color to brown, and view this change in the material viewport. Next we change the grout color to red. Then we edit the transform scale values and watch the tile and grout sections become 3 times larger. Next, we reduce the disk color variation attribute to 0 and make all the metal tiles the same color. As you can see, for this particular material definition, we have 12 different attribute parameters that we can edit to create a new custom material type. But if your material is primarily made up of a textured finish, such as timber, carpet, or even fabric, you can quickly create a new material by uploading a photo image of your chosen finish, using the Upload Texture or Resource button, and then dragging that file into the graph panel, as shown here. Next, in the Material Functions library, we search, yes, we put search everywhere in Medulr, for the File Texture function and drag this into our graph panel, replacing the bitmap file connection with the Texture 2D connector from your uploaded photo image file. Then, to complete this process, we need to bring in the Diffuse function and then connect the green Tint connector in the File Texture node to the green Color connector in the Diffuse function node. And in the Material viewport, we can now see the resulting appearance of your new custom material, but with limited attributes. For most users, just accessing this huge library, making simple edits to the parameters of an existing material, and then just downloading a selected list of MDL definitions will satisfy much of their requirements. But Medulr also offers some great tools for quickly creating full-function custom material definitions from scratch. Many of these materials will comprise a textured finish, such as a timber or carpet or fabrics, and for these types of materials we also need an appropriate set of what are called material maps. But not to worry here, if you have a good photo image of your chosen material, you can use applications such as Materialize, which is free, or Pixplant to quickly and easily generate the necessary material maps. So, using Materialize, we will show how this process works. We firstly open up a texture folder and scroll down to our photo image of the texture we want to create and load this file into the diffuse map channel. Now in Materialize, before we can generate our normal map, we need to create a height map, which we will do here. With that done, we can start creating our normal map, where we experiment with the available settings to achieve the correct 3D definition. Next we do the same thing to create our smoothness or specular map. Now we click the all-important Tile Maps button, which will help us to create our maps as a set of tileable textures. Firstly, we edit the edge fall off to help remove the light band we can see at the bottom of our texture image. Then, we increase the texture tiling to maximum so that we can readily find any repeating patterns. And in this case, we adjust the overlap Y setting to hide the visible and repeating dark horizontal lines. Notice when we use the Set Maps button to save these changes, the other map channels also update. Now we turn off the Height Map channel as it's not needed for our MDL definition, and then click on the Show Full Material button to view the resulting material map combination from all angles. With everything looking right, we can save these separate maps by clicking on the Save Project button and give our new map file set a name. Here we call it Medulr Timber. Now back in the graph edit page in Medulr, we firstly upload our 3 new map files that we have just created in Materialize into our Medulr resource folder. Then we drag and drop these files into our graph edit page. Next, from the functions library, we drag and drop 2 instances of file texture for the diffuse and specular maps and a normal map texture for the normal map. Then, we just connect the light colored nodes between each of the maps and their corresponding function node. Next, we add the specular glossiness function, also known as PBR, where we again join the light-colored nodes from the corresponding functions to the specular glossiness node. We can immediately see the resulting combination in the material viewport, while we also delete the now disconnected and unnecessary default input dialogues. For more detail on how to set up these functions and connectors, please make sure you check out our YouTube playlist using the link in the description below. Now, after clicking on the specular glossiness function, we can edit any of the available base parameters. Here we increase the glossiness value and watch this timber finish become more reflective. Now, before we can use this new material, we need to save it back into the Medulr library system. We start this process by clicking on the Edit button to firstly give our new material a name, which we will call timber_glossed, and then we insert a suitable description. Next, we can add as many tags as we like. With all that done, we click the Close button and then click on the Save button to add this information to the metadata of our new material file. Next, you'll see the Publish button appear. Now, if you've created your new material from scratch by either using your own texture map files or by assembling and connecting core elements from the function library, then after clicking the Publish button, you'll be presented with the dialog panel firstly asking you to agree to the published creator terms, and then choosing whether you want to save your newly created material under public domain, which will provide free and unrestricted use by all Medulr users. Or you can choose to save your material under Creative Commons Attribution, which can also be freely used by all Medulr users, but requires those users to include creator attribution in some part of their distributed output. However, this attribution requirement will be removed, and other useful features will also become available for those users who sign up for a small monthly subscription charge. But if your new material is an edit of any existing library asset, when you click the Publish button, your file will automatically be saved into the Medulr library system with its original license detail, and the Creator Terms and Licensing dialog panel will not appear at all. Now, to show a quick demonstration on how Medulr-sourced MDL files can be used in your chosen content creation package, we have a conference room scene here we've created in Rhino 3D, and rendered using the Iray for Rhino plugin. For this exercise, we want to use our timber glossed material that we have already created and saved into the Medulr library system. We've also created two other Medulr MDL materials that we want to use in our conference room scene. The first one of these is a carpet material that we can see here in our Medulr library. Clicking on the material viewport, we open up the graph display of the map and function components that was configured to produce this material definition. Our other custom MDL material we have created is a curtain fabric which we have named Pattern Curtain. Again, we open up the graph display of the maps and function configuration that was used to create this material. After downloading copies of these three custom materials from the Medulr library, we now move to our Rhino session showing the conference room being rendered live by Iray. We open up the Iray for Rhino materials dialog and click on the Library tab. Then we click on the Medulr subfolder to display all of the materials we have imported for this project and scroll down to where we can see our newly created materials. This same subfolder should also be the local MDL file storage location for use by any other installed content creation packages. We start by dragging and dropping our custom timber gloss material onto a section of the floor under the conference table and watch the scene almost immediately update. Then, we drag and drop our custom carpet material onto the neighbouring floor section. Next, we drop our pattern curtain fabric onto one of the curtain sections. Then, we group select the remaining curtain sections and use the Assign to Selected feature to also apply the new curtain fabric. Now, we adjust the camera to get a better view of the combination of the new materials in our scene. And finally, we move our camera to the other side of the room to get a closer look of the detail of our custom carpet MDL definition. So, if you haven't already explored the huge and free Medulr library, do yourself a big favor and check it out at medulr.com. And for more information and tutorials on how to create your own full function MDL materials or utilize the other features available in Medulr, please review our comprehensive YouTube playlist using the link below. You won't regret it.